Welcome to our review on the HeyBike EC1 ST. The ST stands for Step Through. First of all, we want to say thank you very much to HeyBike for giving us this opportunity to test out this fantastic bike. You will have seen we have tested quite a few bikes now, and I think that actually has been a good thing because that gives us quite a well-rounded knowledge of all the different bikes that are out there, the different things you can expect to see, perhaps some great new features you haven't seen before, and we are able to compared to perhaps somebody who has bought a certain bike and is going to give a recommendation on that one bike only. We can actually compare and contrast different bikes, different makes, different brands. Okay, so let's have a look at this bike. When we review bikes, we actually have a list now of different items, and I'll put it on the screen now, and then I'm going to go through each of these items with you and work out where this bike actually fits. So, first item is its looks. Well, I think this is a very good looking bike. I like the styling of it. It looks sleek. I like the colour. The tyres are the next thing. We get a lot of fat tyre bikes. This has actually got gravel tyres, or it's meant to be a city commuter bike. It actually has the tyres I would prefer, to be perfectly honest. Nice thin tyres. Not too thin, not racing bike style, but it hasn't got the great big bulky fat tyres, which are pretty good for giving you a much softer ride. But this is a commuter bike, so really you're going to be doing cycle paths, roads, that kind of thing. The next on our list is pedal assist. This one actually has 5 levels of pedal assist. They kick in very well, and with the conjunction with the gears, you're able to move up and down and make it very easy. This bike is actually able to achieve some quite steep hills with 5th pedal assist. There is no throttle on this bike at all, because some bikes have them there and they're disabled for EU compliance. So you are just basically relying on pedal assist. So this is a cyclist's bike, I would say. You can turn pedal assist completely off, or you can, go through the ranges 1 to 5. The weight. Now this is where this bike really excels. It's just over 19 kilograms. It's light. It's very light. It's easy to handle. We've not actually had one that's this light before, so yeah, that's very impressive, and I would say that is a very important point about this bike. Brakes. This one actually has hydraulic brakes, which are better than your normal with the brake blocks. They work very well. Range, you get a good range on this bike. You get 100-kilometer range. Now that's obviously moving through your different levels. That's, it's not just, I imagine it's very different if you just put it 5th pedal assist, have that running the whole time. Its average is 100 kilometers on one charge. 7-speed Shimano gears. They work really nicely. You click them up and then you can knock them back down again. The motor size. Well, obviously you want this to be an EU compliant bike, and this one is. It's got a 250 watt motor and it's got a top speed of 25 kilometers an hour. The size range. Most bikes will give you the heights that the riders can be and, who it's basically aimed at. So we are looking at riders between 5'1" and 6'1". Payload. It's got an almighty payload of 330 pounds. That's quite impressive. The saddle. Okay, this is the bad point about this bike. I hate this saddle. I would be swapping this out immediately for a much softer saddle that's a little bit wider. It is quite a harsh saddle. I wish they would put something on that was just a little bit more comfortable. That is, I would say, for this bike, the saddle is biggest negative, but also something that you can switch out extremely easily. Suspension, it doesn't have suspension on the front forks or in the saddle, which makes it probably a little bit of a harder ride. It's lovely to have a bit of suspension on your front forks, but this is a road bike. So really, you're not going to be bouncing around up hills. It doesn't need massive suspension, and when you're riding it, you don't hugely miss it if you're using it for the purpose it's intended for. Folding. Nope, this is not a folding bike, but to be perfectly honest, because of the weight, I think there's a payoff there. The display unit on the front, very nice, like that, very clear, and here's something extra this bike has. You can connect it to an app. So you can actually record your rides, where you've been, how long you've been going, so you can record it all through your phone, or you can use your display. Lights. Now, this only has a light on the front. There is no light on the rear. I think you'd have to fit one yourself, which means there are no brake lights. Mudguards, yep, it comes with mudguards, no problem, you just fit those yourself. Adjustable handlebars, slightly. You can rotate them backwards and forwards towards you, but there's no up and down, so bear that in mind. Key in or out, that's another thing. I mean, no one likes riding their bike along with the key dangling out of it. A little bit risky, I think. This does not need the key. The key is basically just there to get the battery in and out. And it is a removable battery. That's another point. That's our next point. So you can take the battery out, and if you were to leave it in a bike rack or you want to charge your battery somewhere else, that's no problem. Ease of assembly. Put together a few now. They're never super easy, but this was just basically a case of putting the wheels on. But to be honest, once it had been assembled, there was no fine tweaks I needed to do, and I actually put this one together myself. Packaging, extremely well packaged. No problem at all with that. Everything was protected. The bike came out perfect. And accessories you can buy as extras through HeyBike. There's a rear basket, there's a phone mount, so you know they have a few bits and bobs on their website, so there are accessories you can add to this. That's just kind of rounded up this bike very quickly on what it has and how we feel it measures up against others we've looked at. So why don't we take this out for a test drive? 10 kilometers an hour I'm going, so pedal assist 1, nice and gentle. So what I'll do is I'll take you up a hill now, because where we live there's quite a few hills, but this is basically what this bicycle is made for. It's made for being a bike that you take out on the road, commute back and forward to work, or if you're like us, you take it on your motorhome and you go up and down the lovely cycle paths that are available. That is harder already, and I'm on pedal assist 1, so let's give myself a little bit of assistance, knock it up to 2. See, that's easier already. I got it in 6th gear. Knock it up again, 3, much easier. There we go. What a doddle. See, I only took that as far as 3 there, and there's 2 more to go. So I'll show you the hill I came up. It wasn't massive, but it's still quite a nice hill to show you. Not massive, but still easily possible to get up in 3rd. Lovely chilled ride there. And then if I want to put a bit more effort in, which I should, I just drop it down. There we go, that's 2, that's 1. I only ever really go up to 3, 4 and 5 are to get you up big hills, which I do.
I've been through heartaches, I've been to heaven, I've done my best.